Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Nahamini Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Pashadadeshatharine Jai Shri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Kṛṣṇa Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. The Brahma Samhita is very advanced literature. Today somebody was telling me, so many problems are there in my life. My parents are in this, some health difficulty, and father is in this health difficulty. So many problems are there. What is this? What should I do? And I was chatting with him. I said, the first thing you have to understand is accept this fact. That this world is miserable. First accept this fact. We should not be under some illusion. Sometimes what happens, we take the present situation as all in all. We have a strong body is there, health is there. We don't see that diseases, old age and death are sitting in front of us. So the miserable condition, actually the world is miserable. Prabhupada in his Vrindavana Bhajana spent so much time writing about so nice. If you ask anybody in hospital, he had some undergone major surgery, and all today surgery is done and he's put some painkiller and he's lying on the bed and he says, how are you? Fine. Now this is the fine of this world. People do not understand how much misery they are undergoing. And in between the misery is some kind of a situation, just like when you are born, so much misery at that time. So much misery goes on, yes, crying. Few years, misery is there, but we don't see the miseries of old age and death in between. And that is the time we run around thinking this is everything, this is life. You tell some youngsters some philosophy, no, this is the time for me to enjoy. This is why you are talking about all this now. This is, now you have the life, and the time, and you have the body, you should simply do maja. This is actually the general understanding of animals, not human beings. Animals, yes. But human being, you are like animals, that is also fine. These are called bhogis or karmis. They are given no respect in spiritual life. Karmis are, Prabhupada says, karmis, they are animals. He doesn't want to talk about them. We talk about jnanis and yogis and bhaktas. Why we talk about karmis? Karmis have no entrance into the spiritual domain. So this is a societal policy. And now, so when I told him, yes, the fact is miserable, he said, yes. After some few paragraphs of explanation. Yeah. So what should I do now? So much suffering. Tolerant. What can be done? Nothing. Is there anything else can be done? I said, yes. If you are a spiritual candidate, you should understand you are not body, you are a spirit soul. So that is enough. There is anything more in that line? I said, this is the foundation, sir. This is the foundation. The moment you understand that, then huge spiritual knowledge opens up. Correct? But the foundation is you are not the body, you are the spirit soul. Then the activities of the soul, why we are in this body, why we are suffering, what governs this body, I'll get next. And then most important, my relation to the Lord. And in relation to the Lord, there are various rasas. And Bhagavatam or Brahma Samhita, they are giving us a taste of the various rasas. So Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada is pointing out one thing, very important thing he is pointing out. He is pointing out that he said in the last time also, that the pastimes and narrations of the Lord, as given in the revealed scripture, attain transcendental nature because of the potency of the Lord. Please try to understand. Just like the Vigraha, because of the devotion of the devotees, because of the Krishna's kindness, reciprocating the devotion of the deities to his form, the Lord manifests his transcendental nature in the Vigraha. Correct? Otherwise it's a piece of stone. It's a piece of stone. Similarly, the chanting of the name of the Lord. Today what happened that I was searching for something and then suddenly came into the YouTube. He was looking for something, and there were those small snippets, fight between Bhima and Duryodhana. So I just said, let me just see. How do they present? So miserable is the presentation. So many people have been talking about, you should have seen Ramayana or Mahabharata. So miserable, so low class the presentation. The person will not touch even 0.00001 in a trillion also of the chit potency of the Lord, which manifests the Lord's glories in the heart. So horrible. Therefore the Shastras warn us, Avaishnava mukho geetam putam harikatha shavadam naivakam. Never see. And how many people practically? Every individual has been gone through. Therefore, it's very difficult in India to teach Krishna consciousness, because people have been destroyed by this, atheistic and completely nonsensical presentation of the pastimes of the scripture. It has to be heard. Previously, when an acharya will come to a town, whole town used to go to hear. Why? Because full chit potency is there in his words. And he has realized the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. And Prabhupada says the words emanating from a pure devotee may be an ordinary sound vibration, but because of this devotion to the Lord, those words assume spiritual potency. And those words can wake up a man who is till that moment completely asleep in the spiritual realm. He can start his spiritual life. People are aware of that previously. I was talking to the management college. I said, see, this was the value previously. He said, no, they were the only ones at that time talking about life. Now so many of us are also there. We can tell about how a person should lead their life. What are you going to tell? How to eat, sleep like an animal, that's all. What are you going to tell? What are you going to tell? Morning we were discussing this point, that how morality has no foundation without spirituality. Very important point. Morality may teach you how to drive the car, but spirituality teaches you where to take the car. So simply being a good man in this world, for what purpose? For what purpose? Therefore, these people, when they go even to the pastimes of the Lord, or Lord's pastimes are in the Bhagavatam, they are kept secretly reserved. They are not opened out in literature like Mahabharata. Mahabharata is more of politics and other opened out. But still, Lord is there. Lord is there. Activity the transcendental. But it has to be properly presented by a pure devotee. Otherwise, how do we understand? I was reading the purport of this shloka and the next shloka, where Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada talks about Krishna's relationship with the gopis. And he spends 12 pages explaining it. 12 pages. Similarly, in the Kṛṣṇa book also, and before Kṛṣṇa talks about Raslila, he writes a chapter, Introduction to Raslila, so that you don't misunderstand the Lord's pastime. It has to be, it's not like a mango when you take, you cannot just throw on the ground. It will break. It has to be carefully taken hand to hand. So Lord's pastimes have to be first properly understood. And who can understand the Lord's pastime? Because Lord is on a transcendental plane, his activities are also on a transcendental plane. So Lord's pastimes are understood of pure devotees and carefully given to an audience, seeing how much they mature, what they can handle. Because according to our degree of spiritual advancement, different areas of spiritual line can be digested by us. Correct? Not everything can be understood at this first point. So it is, we see it is so carefully, and most of the people just think that I understood Krishna's pastime. I saw that Krishna serial by this fellow or that. You have rather destroyed your spiritual life, rather than benefiting 1 inch. Sometimes people quote with great pride, I've seen that serial. We think, my God, this fellow is gone cave. How are you going to present? because even the slightest intricacies of the pastimes cannot be understood. Just like the holy name of the Lord is transcendental, now it cannot be understood unless somebody with the key of submission unlocks the glory of the holy name. As submissively hear the holy name will manifest its transcendental nature. Now it is left to us, we do or not. You don't practice, you don't submit to the holy name in the glorious feature. Yes, the holy name will not reveal a transcendental nature to you. It will remain like a vibration, which maybe Punya Shamana Kirtana will purify your heart, but it will not open your heart to the pleasure of Kṛṣṇa consciousness. It will not do that. The same in the form of the Lord. Unless with submission and devotion we approach the form of the Lord and we serve. I gave that example of that pujari who whole life did service to a deity. And at the end of the life he said that, see, whole life I served him. And no reciprocation. So today, I am stopping this puja and I am walking away out of this temple. And as he was walking out, the Lord's hand, deity hand, touched him. He said, no, why now after 60 years of service? The deity said, this is the first time you address me in person. Till now you are doing rituals only. You have no personal feeling at all for me. Some statue is there, I have to do this upchara, that upchara. You never even, heart to heart express anything to me. Today the first day you express and I reciprocate. But to come to that platform also where we can feel, let me do some service to the deity today, let me offer some prayers to the deity today, it requires a lot of time. Prabhupada says you cannot even look attentively at deity unless you are purified. You cannot. Because mind is what you will think of the deity. What you will read the Shastra. A person says read the scripture. Read, no, every day read for 1 hour. No, you cannot read. Because mind is like that. So unless the mind is yeshantu papam jananam punya-karmana, unless the mind is purified, we cannot enter into the realm of transcendence. So it has to be very carefully handled. So Kṛṣṇa is not without any qualities. There are, in the next verse it talks about all the kalas Kṛṣṇa knows. Every kala. How to dress properly in ornaments. How to, morning we are discussing about the singing. How to paint. How to play with the birds. How to talk to them. Every kala. Because spiritual world is not without variety. There is variety. And in the mundane world, the Lord, when He manifests His pastime in the material world, He manifests that also. But because it is the mundane world, certain things are manifested in a seemingly contradictory way, which are not there in the spiritual world. Just like the scaling of the demons. Now, demons don't exist in the spiritual world. There is no Bakasura, Aghasura in the spiritual world. Spiritual world, there are no demons. But because it is a mundane plane, these things are exhibited. Amorous pastimes of Kṛṣṇa with the gopis. Where there is a question, all the gopis of these expansions are Radharani. But then why there is parakya-rasa even in the spiritual world? That is just a sentiment of the gopis. The gopis have no husband in the spiritual world. They are all just like Kṛṣṇa's property. But at the same time, just as a sentiment, because wife means the husband has a feeling of position, as a swami. Correct? So to have another feeling of a rasa, this pastime is created there by the Yogamaya. And there is one thing called sakhya, one thing called parakya. Sakhya, the husband feel I am like an owner. There is some kind of obligation. But where in parakya, that doesn't exist. For that reason, in the spiritual world, even the gopis are nothing but expansion of Radharani. The Radharani expands to in thousands and millions to sweeten Kṛṣṇa's pastime in unlimited categories of gopis and sakhis. in the spiritual world, a feeling is created that an ego, Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada says that another ego is created of an identity not as Krishna's wife, so that by Yogamaya, and just like Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, always in the spiritual world feel what? They feel that Krishna took birth, because there is no birth in the spiritual world. So when there is no birth in the spiritual world, how do they have a feeling of a father and mother? In the material world, we have a feeling of father and mother, because we know the child took birth from us. You know. In the spiritual world, in the material world, it is manifested again in some kind of a leela. Because here also material world, Krishna remains unborn. He just manifests himself. Okay. But how do you do it in the spiritual world? In the spiritual world, how do they have a feeling of a father and mother? How can you have a feeling of father and mother? Because Krishna never took birth from Krishna. Correct? At least here there was an experience. The child was explained. And Vasudeva Devaki knew. He is not taken birth like any other child. He just came as he came to the heart of Vasudeva first. Then he came to the heart of Devaki. Then he standed in front of them, Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. And Vasudeva, correct? Vasudeva form he took. And then he took the form of the small baby. So they know Lord himself is there. And we have not given birth like any other person. But Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda got a Brahma because the child was stolen and put there. Correct? We all know that. So they always felt it was a child who took birth. But the fact is he never took birth like any other child. And then on top, what do you do in the spiritual world now? In the spiritual world, this never had happened. There is a question of Krishna being born in a particular day. Because Krishna is eternal, Yashoda is eternal, Nanda Maharaj is eternal. So how is it they have a fatherly feeling? That is created by you. Correct? Otherwise it doesn't exist. So similarly, the gopis also in the spiritual world, there is no husband exist. There's Abhimanyu, other thing, it's all an illusion. They don't exist actually. So what is created in the spiritual world, they have no relation with any other person except Krishna. That's the fact. Even in the spiritual world, the gopi. But just to give them an alter ego, another kind of feeling. Because husband, wife means position. He has some kind of ownership. So to have another relation to Krishna, without Krishna having the kind of ownership, therefore rasa comes in the spiritual world. There is no question of in the spiritual world having another husband. Gopis have no other person other than Krishna. They don't relate to anybody else. Correct? So Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada spent 12 pages in going into this point. 12 pages in the next shloka. What I am saying is that smallest of the thing. And how is he spending? He is saying on the authority of Acharya called Jiva Goswami. He is quoting continuously Jiva Goswami and Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur and Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, quoting their verses and explaining this is how the pastimes are situated of the gopis with Krishna in the spiritual world. But in the mundane plane when it comes, just like in the mundane plane what happened, they were demons. It is manifested for the mundane people as amorous, as pastime of somebody with somebody's wife, which is not considered moral. So, but it takes so much understanding and again dwelling in the issue to properly understand. But not that just somebody hears from some TV serial and then he starts with his kachara. There is no chit potency there, no potency of the Lord to turn that pastime into spiritual pastime. No pleasure or devotion to Krishna. Not that after watching that, somebody had created even a puppet show or a cartoon on Krishna. We experimented it many times. It's not a waste of time for any grown-up person. It doesn't bring in him, let me from tomorrow worship Krishna. For yourself you can see, you have this much devotion, X devotion to Krishna, what's the whole thing? X plus 0.01x, it doesn't grow. It doesn't grow. I'm not just saying because I want to be critical, but by effect, we see that. We had 2 sessions we visited in 2 colleges. Very attractive students were, because it is attractive, so much sound, music, everything. Just like this TV series are very attractive. Sound, light, music and tension. I remember when I was studying in a college, when this Mahabharata serial will be there, cities will be, no bus moves. No auto moves. People used to watch it religiously. But what is the benefit? 0.0000001 also no benefit. No benefit. Waste of time. Because the very purpose, Kṛṣṇa says in the Bhagavad Gita, Vedeshu sarvev aham eva vedya. All the Vedic literature, if you read properly, you will come to me. You surrender to Kṛṣṇa. Correct? Yes, Kṛṣṇa, I am your servant. But rather than that, these things only create more doubts and confusions. Why did Kṛṣṇa do that? Hey, Kṛṣṇa was a good politician. One person told me after seeing on the picture. You will not be able to understand. Okay, so there is no replacement. The point is, no replacement. If you want to know about Kṛṣṇa, you have to hear from his devotees. If you have to know about Kṛṣṇa, you read from his devotees. Correct? There is, I follow the guidance of the devotees to mature into high level realizations so that you can understand his masters. There is no shortcut. You cannot just play some movie or a serial and learn anything about Kṛṣṇa. No sir, it will not work. It will not work. There was a person who had come to Sanatana Goswami and he was telling some thing about Lord Chaitanya. And it was a rule, because so many people used to come to read poetry to Lord Chaitanya. It was a rule that Swarup Damodar will first hear and check. Then only it will be presented to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he may get irritated. If something apasiddhanta, rasa is there, it will be irritating to Lord Chaitanya. So other devotees heard this person, and when they heard, so nice, fantastic. So they were telling Swarup Damodar, you should hear him. He said, no, I don't want to hear. Just I have an idea, this person again must be another, apasiddhantic fellow. They said, no, we heard, fantastic. So he came to speak, and Swarup Damodar were hearing, and everybody after speaking, wow, they are speaking, nice poetry. And Swarup Damodar's face was fire, and he blasted. What did he say? He said, yes, Lord Chaitanya has given life to the wooden form of Jagannatha. He became fire. What are you telling all this? As if there is a deity, there is another consciousness permeating the deity. It is just like that. Some people still have that crazy idea. They think deity is separate, God is separate. God comes inside the deity and gives deity consciousness. Just like Atma comes inside the body and gives consciousness to the body. Some people have that kind of idea. No, sir. There is no Deha Dehi in the Lord. There is no conception like that. Swarup Damodar became fire. So what are they speaking? No way you learn this all opposite that. You don't know facts and you try to present to public and confuse them. That fellow was very humble actually. He became, said, please forgive me, What should I do? Then what is saying? Bhagavata Paragiya Bhagavata Sthana. If you want to know Bhagavata, scripture Bhagavata, go to a person Bhagavata. Learn from a person Bhagavata. So this is a mistake happening today in the society. Just like you want to learn engineering, you go to registered college. We just don't sit and imagine anything. It's not the way. So you want to learn spiritual life. First, you have to forget all your work from unregistered, wrong sources. You have to forget that. And it's a double work. Suppose somebody knows something in a wrong way, you have to first make him unlearn on that. Then you have to teach him the right thing. Therefore, just like Prabhupada was preaching all around the world, the message went so fast. Why? Empty slate. Whatever he wanted, he could write. In India, no, but Swamiji, this. It's so much difficult. And people are learned wrong, and on top of it are not able to agree that the sources are bogus also. They will quote some Ananda or some Swami and say, he says like that, he says like that. Prabhupada used to say, can we agree on the authority of Bhagavad Gita, sir? Can we agree? You are quoting this Swami, that Swami. I say Bhagavad Gita says so. Are you ready to accept Gita's authority first? People have lost the foundation so badly, they forget this common sense. How can somebody be an authority more than Kṛṣṇa? Once somebody agrees to that, then we can proceed. Then all the things can be properly. If the scriptures, among the Guru Sadhu Shastra, most important is Shastra. If the Shastra authority is accepted, automatically then sadhus are understood and gurus understood. Guru cannot change the words of the scripture. Guru cannot speak against the authority of the great acharyas. Acharya will never say anything which is not in the scripture. And Acharya abides by life of the scripture. Okay, so all the three Gurus, Sadhu, Shastra are interrelated. They give authority to each other and they are interrelated. So in this way only the transcendental nature of these rasas can be revealed. So if we have neutral relationship to Kṛṣṇa, Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada is saying you will get Brahma-Paramātmā realization, but you cannot enter Vaikuṇṭha. But next, if we have matured into higher rasa, also called dāsya-rasa, where willingly we come forward and offer service to the Lord, that is the nature we have developed, yes, then we get admittance into Vaikuṇṭha. And then if we have developed still higher mode of fraternal friendship to Kṛṣṇa, or vātsalya, or madhura-rasa, these top three rasas are only available in the special planet of Vaikuṇṭha called Goloka, where you have a relationship with Kṛṣṇa without even knowing He is the Supreme Lord. An intimate relationship you can have with Kṛṣṇa. So this we will discuss more later. So this is something we have to say. Śrīla Prabhupada ki